Hello there! Today we find ourselves in a beautiful forest and my goal is to take some landscape photos. The camera I will be using is the Zeiss Ikon Nettar, as you can probably guess by the title already. I already took one roll with this camera and I actually liked the results. They were not much better than I had expected. Of course I had some problems with light leaks, but I have fixed those, or I hope I have. That I can only know for sure when I have processed the roll, but I put some tape on the underside so the door doesn't leak any more light, I think, and some wool on the insides to create even better seals. Yes. Maybe I'm making my photography unnecessarily difficult by using such an old camera, black and white film, and I only have one roll of film with me. Of course the camera doesn't have any special features or any fancy features, and yeah, it only has a normal lens, 75mm, so it's quite limiting in that way, but actually I found that I enjoy photographing this way now because during the last year I didn't take so many photos and I haven't had so much energy to go out and take like landscape photos and so on. I've done mostly like technical photos or such things. So I have found my way back into the light by using film and experimenting with old cameras, old broken cameras and such things. It's a lot of fun. It brought fun back into photography for me. Of course, one thing to remember though is that film by itself won't make the photos good. I mean, you still need to have the composition good, the light good, and since I only have 12 photos for a roll, I will really try to think about why I want to take a photo of something and really get interesting light or interesting composition, or a composition which is relevant for the subject I'm doing. Right, I should also mention something about the location we are in at the moment. This is a very beautiful natural location in the Nordic countries. It's called the Archipelago Sea. And you have probably never heard about it before because, well, the reason is quite easy. We don't have any mountains. So it's quite difficult to compete with Norway, Iceland or the Faroe Islands. Yeah, and we also don't have waterfalls or sea stacks or other things which are quite popular among landscape photographers. But I still think it's quite beautiful here. There are lots of interesting things to photograph. You just have to look a little bit closer. You don't have the grand landscapes. So I guess you have to do what they call intimate landscape photography, and that term I always find a bit funny because it makes you think about abstract nudes, but I'm afraid this video won't be that interesting unless you really want to see how hairy I am. Yeah, but let's go and find out what we can take photos of around here. One thing we have plenty of is in this area are lonely trees. Well, one of the cliches for landscape photography, but it's one speciality in this area. And the reason there are so many is because it's a very harsh landscape. It's a post-glacial landscape, a lot of rocks and cracks, and of course the sea and the wind makes it even more difficult for trees to grow. But in some places, trees manage to grow in very difficult places, in cracks and so on, and usually they are alone in that area. And one of my favorite lonely trees on this island is this one behind me here, and now I'll go and take a photograph of it. Right, so what more is there we can photograph here? Well, there are plenty of rocks. As you can see, rocks all around me. Of course, the challenge here is to find an interesting constellation of rocks, something that would make an interesting composition. Not so easy, so I will look around a little bit here and see what I can find. The sun came back now, so it's great. More light for my photos. And I don't mind the harsh sunlight at all, really. It works quite well for black and white photography. I don't know, I need to find, I think, one very interesting rock which will dominate the scene and some small rocks around. It's very exciting. When I only have 12 shots, it becomes like I have to really think before each shot what I actually photograph. So it makes it kind of difficult, and I really have to ask myself, why do I take a picture of this rock or that rock, or one rock which is very maybe representative for a landscape, or one which looks very interesting or different or special, or I don't know. It really makes me like question my photography. What am I doing? Why am I here? Another interesting subject you can find in this area are these old dead trees. And I think they can look especially good in black and white, since they are basically black and white already. Now I'm not entirely sure about the light we have right now, it's quite harsh sunlight, but I will take a photo and see how it turns out. I might return later when there is not sun anymore and then see so I have something to compare with. But yeah, I'll go ahead and find a composition and take a photo. I really like these trees, they are quite interesting. They're called ghost trees. Yeah, you can see all the wooden fibers and everything. Tree skeleton basically. I think from down here it looks really interesting for getting the shape, because you get these swirling branches and things. So yeah, I think this will be my composition for this place. Now we have arrived at a location which combines elements from previous ones, rocks and trees, with an added bonus of water. Because why not? It's quite spectacular, isn't it? But seriously though, the reason I came to this location is because these rocks and the cliffs and the tree, they look very nice in this harsh midday light. So yeah, I think it could be quite interesting for black and white photography. I don't know yet, I have to take some photos and go and develop and see. When I loaded a new roll into this camera, I told myself that I should be careful this time on this roll. I don't want to have any double exposures, or let's say accidental double exposures, but that's exactly what I managed to do again. But this time I have to say that I actually like the photo. It's not too bad. It sort of makes sense to have the different layers of the landscape like that. So yeah, it's not bad at all actually. The next photo I'm showing is maybe my favorite from the roll. And of course I didn't record any video while I was taking this photo. I just happened to see it and had the camera with me, so I took the opportunity, of course. But I really liked the soft light in the evening, and the subject with the ghost tree is also quite nice, I think. I have reached the final shot of the roll, and I will try to make this shot count, because yeah, it's a lot of work developing and scanning and so on, so I want to make a good shot, which of course makes a bit of pressure, but I've come to a nice location and a bit late in the day, so I get the sun at a bit lower angle, so that way I can get some more interesting shadows and contrast. Or that's the idea, at least. We'll see about that, how it turns out. It looks really nice in this direction, but there is the same lonely tree I used in the first shot. I don't know, maybe I can include it. It wouldn't hurt, but I don't know if it would be nice if it's too much in the sun still. I have come to a decision. This first place I was looking at, it was quite nice actually. There's some nice harsh shadows, also a nice grayscale, some silhouettes. The only minus I can find is that the sky is rather boring, not so many interesting clouds, but there's some, so it shouldn't be completely empty. Yeah, let's take the shot. Yes. So this was my second roll with the Zeiss Ikon Nettar, and of course I cannot tell now how the results were, but I have already upgraded my medium format camera, so next time I'll be shooting with a different camera, and if I like it more than this I will probably sell this one maybe, because the new one I got is a bit more advanced. But what the new camera is, that you'll find out in a coming video, so make sure to subscribe to not miss out on that. So see you maybe in that video or whatever video comes up next. Thanks for watching, bye! And enjoy the summer, like I am doing. Well, of course, that might hurt a bit if you watch this in the middle of the winter, but in that case, you have something to look forward to. Yes, I'm trying to be positive here.